America and the self-appointed custodians of democracy. It's safe to say that no one in the world is more concerned about democracy than the United States, or rather they claim to be doing so. Since the Second World War, the US has made it a goal of its foreign policy to export democracy worldwide. It invaded other nations, destabilized elected governments, influenced elections, and if elected, deposed their leaders. All of it for the sake of democratic principles. Now, naturally, many would believe if US is so committed to democracy, the democratic values enshrined in their constitution, then the United States would be the ideal paradise. Fast forward to 2024, former US President Donald Trump, who currently is presidential candidate for the Republicans running for another term at the White House, he has faced 2 assassination attempts. In the first one, it was a narrow escape as a bullet just grazed his earlobe. And given the political environment, it would not be surprising if there are more attempts on his life. Except in functional democracies, countries, this is not normal. Let me explain its magnitude to you in an Indian context. Imagine if in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, a politically motivated individual would have tried to shoot Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. Imagine the outrage it would have generated. Congress party would have pretty much brought the entire nation to a halt. But surprisingly, everyone seems pretty chill in the United States. A leader of opposition has faced 2 assassination attempts on his life. A politician who was also a former US president. And ironically, this very country claims to be the protector of democracy. However, if you rewind the history pages, you will find that there's quite a rich history of US presidential assassination and attempts. The list begins as back as 1835 with 7th US President Andrew Jackson facing the first ever assassination attempt, as a house painter named Richard Lawrence attempted to shoot him with 2 pistols, both of which misfired and the president survived. Now, as we checked more, the list grew longer, plus it had to be actually classified. For instance, serving presidents who were assassinated or who were wounded, and former US president who faced assassination attempts, which includes Donald Trump. 4 sitting presidents have been killed, namely Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy. Meanwhile, another incumbent president, Ronald Reagan, was shot, but he managed to survive. Furthermore, there have been allegations of CIA being involved in the assassination of former President John F. Kennedy. Although the US administration has often labeled these allegations false, but nevertheless, many still hold the belief that US deep state does not shy away from removing a US president, or in the case of Trump, a US presidential candidate. Notably, Donald Trump has said on many occasions that if he becomes the US president again, he will take action against the deep state. So there have been allegations that the deep state might be involved in assassination attempts on Donald Trump. And even if the CIA or any deep state asset wasn't involved in JFK or Trump assassination, isn't it weird for a country to have such a rich history of presidential assassinations when the same country professes the value of democracy to other nations such as India? The US never shies away from expressing its concern amid any normal political incident of a different country. For example, in India, when Congress leader Rahul Gandhi was disqualified from his parliamentary membership due to a ruling by an Indian court, the US chose to comment that they are watching this case. If the US is truly concerned about democratic principles, they should ideally ensure that no more a US president or a former one gets shot.